Welcome to the Stone Cottage. Today we are going to have a tour around the dining area, the kitchen, and our family room area. And we have lightened things up for summer, made things more casual, and tried to get our colors a little bit lighter so that it will be cooler, because it is definitely a warm summer around here. Thought I'd start with the little table over here. And up above this table, I have permanently hung the peach picture. And this was painted by my great grandmother's sister. So great Aunt Kate did the painting of the peaches, and Uncle Billy did the lettering on the newspaper, the Dallas Morning News. And the date on the newspaper is Tuesday, August 14th, 1900. So that obviously was shortly after, or shortly before, the picture was painted. And when I was a child, I was never very fond of this picture, but it's definitely grown on me over the years. Now you see 3 little marks right here. This is my contribution to the painting. When I was a little girl, this painting hung above the sofa in the family room. And one day, when probably no one was around, I had heard that cats always landed on their feet. So I took my kitty and I threw him up in the air to see if he would land on his feet. But I didn't want him to get hurt because I loved my kitty. So I did it over the sofa, like any logical person would. And the kitty got quite alarmed, and those are actually kitty little claw prints. I was just very, very grateful that it wasn't like a cartoon and the kitty drug his claws all the way down. So I never confessed that to my mother. And I wanted to duplicate the peaches, and these are some beautiful peaches. It's definitely peach season around here. So I don't have a peach tree, so I didn't have that many peaches, and the two of us don't go through that many peaches together. So I bought some peaches, as much as I thought we could eat, and these are fabulous Georgia peaches. And I put them in a basket that echoed what's above. And like in my living room, I've changed out to the white dishes just to create a little bit lighter look. And I have brought in one of my plants from the garden. I have a lot of plants that are in pots waiting for the pond to be finished, the pondless waterfall. And this is one of those plants. So he's come in. This is a Berginia, a pig squeak. I love the common name, pig squeak. And over here I have some rudbeckia, some black-eyed Susans, because that's what is blooming in my garden right now that I have lots of. And I have some antique bottles. One of the things I'm doing in the family room, and I wanted to duplicate that in here, was bringing in that blue that's that same color that you see in sea glass. And I've brought some copper around here because I thought that would be pretty with the peaches. And I would have changed out the blue and white dishes, but they are attached to the wall with the 3M Velcro strips, and they can come off, but then I would have to put them back on, and I decided, I don't want to have to do that. So I'm just going to leave them there along with the other things that go around. The copper. This copper bowl came from a thrift store, And the copper milk jug and the copper pot came from a secondhand store in Switzerland in the mid-1970s. I think 1974 my mom bought those. And up above the armoire where I keep my china, there are two things that always stay here. One is this tall wooden piece on the left-hand side that actually is a pipe holder from the 1920s. I thank one of my viewers for identifying that. And I have draped it with some faux greenery, which I really like. And the other thing that always stays there is the tray, because we take dinner often to my son's house and we use that tray that I have decoupaged with just some Mod Podge and some decorative napkins, and I painted it black and white around the edges to kind of imitate the look of the Mackenzie Childs items. And there is a duck and a little white bowl up there to create more of a summery feel up there. Now, right next to this door, well, first of all, there are my husband's muddy boots. They've got our red clay. So they come off right here, and tomorrow he's going to be working, so I don't want to move his boots, discourage him at all, because he told me he would go out and work in the yard. And we've got pink geraniums beginning to really put on a nice show on the deck, and I love to be able to see them through the French door. And back in that little nook is the bird bath. And right next to this, I have a table that again was inspired by Mackenzie Childs. It was already something that was painted probably from, I'd say, the 30s or 40s. It was painted a pretty awful color. It'd been in the family for a while. And so I painted it black and white checks around the edges, and then painted some flowers on it, which is the fun. And if I need a little extra seating when all my family's here, I can pop that out and we have a little extra seating. But right here, there's a duck basket. And the duck basket has in it my gardening gloves and some tools for gardening and some seeds. But I found that this is where I drop them all the time, so I might as well just put a basket there and keep them there. And I've moved over my little chickadee that my sister painted for me, which I just love, on my wall of birds. And so these pictures stay this way all the time, but I definitely have to make room for my gardening instruments at this point. And I've tried to make things more casual, but I realized I just have so much silver, I don't have a place to put it all if I want to put it away. And then I start running out of things until I go with the silver. But we'll do some white orchids and some white candles, and so that kind of lightens things up and makes it feel a little more playful. And I have not changed things in the family room much beyond what I had done in the springtime with the Suzanne fabrics for the pillows. And this Rieger begonia has lasted extremely well. It's on the tail end of its blooming, but I've read about it and it sounds like it will bloom again when the daylight tells it to. And A few flowers that those are kind of a green chrysanthemum that I picked up at Trader Joe's. And Aunt Maudie holding the bird is over here. If I keep things in the same spot, I quit seeing them. And when I move them around, I see them anew. And of course, as hot as it's been, I have a drink of water for myself. I didn't move that because I'm just going to sit back down and drink some more water. Let's see, it's 90 degrees, which is one of the cooler days we've had this week. And of course, my gardening books, which I look at pretty routinely, are here, so I can look at them. And in the kitchen, I am preparing a nice cool dinner in my white salad bowl with lots of lettuce, tomatoes, avocados, limes, and I'm going to cook some peppers and onions, put that on our salad, and make kind of a Southwest salad with black beans and chicken and a few tortilla chips on top, and that'll be a nice, cool dinner that's healthy and nice. And over here, I've kept the basket up here because that's light, and changed out for a white bowl for the tomatoes. And I haven't shown my kitchen recently, but I don't have much in the way of upper cabinets. But for my dishes, I have these hanging shelves over the windows because I want to make sure I get plenty of sunlight. But much as I love my neighbors, the view of their garden shed is not exactly my favorite view. So this kind of blocks the view without keeping the light out. And this area does actually have a couple of skylights, which keep this area very bright and nice, which I very much enjoy. Our countertops are soapstone, and they are very low maintenance. You just put a little mineral oil on them when you think it needs it. It needs to be made a little more shiny, and it does not stain. And for me, I absolutely love it. And we have a farmhouse sink built out of the same stone, and they chose, I chose my grain just like you would with marble, and they carefully put the best grain in the most prominent spots on the countertop. Now you can kind of see now that's a reflection of the light, but it gets dings in it. And I'm going to show you. You can see pretty serious ding there from, I think it broke when a plate bumped into it as I was loading the dishwasher, because my dishwasher is right there. And if you cut on it or drop anything heavy on it, it does create indentations. Now, most people would really object to that. It did not bother me because I wanted this to look like it was really old, and it does have that wonderful aged kind of look to it. If this is a look that you're interested in, but you want something that's a little more durable, you might want to think about maybe a honed black granite or something like that. But for me, this was absolutely perfect. I loved it. It doesn't bother me at all. If it gets a little bunged up, I just get out my mineral oil and go over it because I think it's just absolutely beautiful, and I love the patina. I have a lot of copper in the kitchen, which makes it nice and warm, and I always use my everyday dishes, which are white, so that's a fun thing to have for my summer look. And I'm getting ready to saute some vegetables, and we'll pull together our dinner. And thanks so much for joining us on a little tour of the summer in the Stone Cottage. And I love looking out the window onto the deck with our flowers and our bird bath. And we have lots of birds and squirrels that keep us well entertained. And I shall see you next time. Thanks again. Bye.